Good morning, Mr. Thomas. Today's question is, what kind of technical support should businesses provide during the adaptation phase?
Yeah, good morning, Lavanya. Thank you for the question. Um, yeah, so as you have asked, what happens is whenever a business or a company is, finalized on a software and the software has been implemented, the adaptation phase or the company using the new software and the team using the new software, there are certain things that the company can do to support the team, to support the organization, to ensure that the adaptation to the new software is happening smoothly and there are no major hiccups that are taking place. Okay, so two three things that I can advise is, first one is of course technical training, because the new software would have its own automation. It would have a process which might be a little different from what they were doing before. So definitely there has to be a conscious attempt to ensure every team member is being trained technically, okay, with respect to the new software. The second thing I would strongly suggest is, to have a project champion, uh, somebody who understands the entire project right from the requirement phase to the implementation phase inside the organization itself. So sometimes organizations, what happens is they rely on the software company to provide all information, to provide all the training, and that can cause a lag or a delay in providing what necessary information is required. But if the businesses ensure that there is one project champion inside the organization itself who understands the entire project, who understands all the technical aspects of the software, that person should be the one point of contact, or at least the initial contact for everybody in the organization, so that they can receive the feedback, so that they can receive whatever answers they need immediately. Okay? Apart from this, what will happen, as we've spoken in a few of the earlier videos, there is always a fine tuning that happens. So, whenever a software is implemented during the adaptation phase, there is always a fine tuning that happens. And this fine tuning, there may be a series of feedback that the team members may be giving. So, if the business is not having, or if the customer is not having a proper feedback tracking mechanism, or maybe a service ticket management mechanism, where every request from the team member is tracked with a ticket number or ID number. And whenever the software company, like for example, whenever we complete that particular enhancement or that particular fine tuning, it is tracked and closed. Because in a large organization, let's say there are 200 users, and if every user is raising about one or two fine tuning, initially there could be many of them, and if they're raising one or two fine tuning, we are speaking about 200 to 500 or 1000 fine tuning suggestions that have come from different users. Sorry. Of course, it is true that many of those fine tuning may be duplicated. Like, whatever one user raises, it might be the same what the other. So a mechanism to identify which tickets, which of the requests have been raised, which of those are duplicate, and which of those have been completed, by providing notes saying that this is how it has been completed. If that mechanism is not there in place in a proper systematic process, the entire fine tuning process itself can become a failure. And the adaptation, instead of completing in a few weeks time, it can take many months, and the whole project also can go for a failure. So these are a couple of suggestions I have in how a business can provide support and ensure that the adaptation phase is happening correctly. Thank you, Lal.
Thank you.